Guys, I just wanted to make a video today about a subject that's been relevant to me for most of my adult life and, well, you guys as well. And it's just been something that's been bothering me for a while, and I felt I finally had the ability to make a video to show my true feelings on this delicate subject, which is abbreviations and acronyms. We're going to be diving deep, so let's get started. I looked at some random website when I googled abbreviations to find out some characteristics of it. And my first question is, what's actually the point of abbreviations? And the point, according to random websites on the internet, is to shorten words to make communication easier for oneself and the people around them. Alright? It's important to use relatively common phrases when constructing these abbreviations. Once again, to make communication easier. Please remember this for later. Some appropriate examples of abbreviations are apartment, Mr., professor, centimeter, pound, and state names. Now, pound is one people might have issues with because it doesn't say pound, but it comes from some old Roman name or Greek name or word for the old word that was pound. I don't understand why we keep it at LB, but it has been for so long, and so many people recognize it as abbreviation that it's okay. It's been grandfathered. It's okay, guys. All right. Bob and Cart / dentals. Bob and Cart stands for bottom of basket and cart. This is a phrase that was used when I worked at a grocery store, and managers would tell us, yo, check Bob and Cart when we were bagging groceries or checking out customers as a cashier. That meant to check the bottom of the basket and cart to make sure that customers weren't forgetting anything or trying to be deceitful, so we didn't lose out on our profits. And dentals is referred to, is what I use to refer to dental statements. When I worked at an insurance company, I was responsible for helping prepare quarterly and annual statements for 9 dental companies. Now, these phrases are known as work jargon. That's pretty simple. They're common to me and my craft. Bob and Cart was common to the grocery store business, and dentals are, common to that one specific business that I was working at. Bob and Cart is silly, and I might claim that it's a stupid abbreviation / acronym, but it is used by managers to stick in your brain. It had a specific purpose. Now, I'm telling you, if the managers had told us to check the bottom of the basket and carts, I would not remember that to this day. But that silly acronym, and I remember it, so that's alright. The point is, these are okay to use. Conditionally, that you keep that shit at work. Don't bring that home, alright? No one knows what you're going to be talking about when you're talking about the dentals. All the dentals were shit. Say just, my work was bad. I'm working on these quarterly statements and they're tough. Alright? No one knows what you're talking about. Alright? Don't use work jargon when you're not at work. Alright, moving on. Let's go over some not okay abbreviations. We have that word. I'll tell you what it is. It's abbreve. Doesn't look like a breve. It looks like a brev. Conses, deli, ticks, and guac. Now you can see I have these kind of color-coded. That's to group them by similar strikes against them. Now abbreve and conses, they're just stupid. They don't make sense, right? Abbreviations doesn't need to be abbreviated. That's like when you write a paper, when you're going to use an acronym like the Securities and Exchange Commission, you can often write SEC, but first you should write out Securities and Exchange Commissions. Abbreviations should always be written out so people always know what you're talking about. It's not that long. You can say the gosh diddly dang word. Conses, for consequences. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't even make sense. Abbreviations are supposed to make communication easier. It's supposed to be from common phrases. Consequences is not a common word. Alright? It's a word a lot of people know, but we don't use it very often in our day-to-day language and communication. Conses is just going to make that more difficult for the people around you. Don't use that. Now, deli and ticks are a little worse than abbrev and conses. Abbrev and conses are stupid, correct. But deli and ticks are detrimental to our communication. Deli is short for delicious. That's dumb, because deli just sounds stupid when you use it in the first place, in my opinion. But it's detrimental to our communication is that it already refers to a common part of our language, as in delis. You know, you go to the grocery store and you get meat and cheese from the deli. Right? So if you're saying, yo, did you like the pizza I made? And someone's saying it was deli, that might make the cook think that the person thought you were getting the pizza from the deli and get offended. That's not okay. That's not okay. And ticks is short for tickets. When you say ticks, I think you're referring to the little terrible insects that bite you and give you diseases and suck your blood. Not tickets. Tickets is 2 syllables. It's 2 syllables. Is it worth the detriment to our communication? No, it's not. I'm sorry, I lost my temper. Finally, we have guac. Guac stands for guacamole. This is the worst of the infractions because guacamole is a beautiful, sexy word. Say it with me, guacamole. It's a great word to say. It's beautiful. And people need to think that they need to shorten it to guac. That's a disgrace to a beautiful word. What do you got to do it for? It's not even like you're saying guacamole all that often. You're using it when you have tacos or when you're having chips and dip. That's pretty much it, isn't it? Why do you got to desecrate this beautiful word? Don't, please, just stop it, please. All right, now acronyms. Acronyms are fun, right? They're mostly used for speaking, mostly to shorten that up. They involve combining words, as you guys know, because you're not really stupid. SEC, FBI, NASA. Now, these are all appropriate uses of acronyms. FBI stands for the Federal Bureau of Investigation, right? Everybody knows what it stands for. Everybody knows what FBI is. They're dudes who catch the bad guys. SEC stands for Securities and Exchange Commission. Not everybody's going to know what SEC stands for. But most people, and I mean this, most people know that the SEC guys are the money dudes. They catch criminals who are involved with the money, and they also try and arrest Leonardo DiCaprio and Wolf of Wall Street. NASA, nobody actually knows what NASA stands for. Trust me, I Googled it for 12 hours. No one in the internet knows what NASA stands for, but they know that they're the dudes who send ships off into space. It's important to use well-recognized words. Like I said, people recognize SEC, FBI, and spaceship dudes. All right? Reminder, these are to make life easier. Continuing, we have some not okay acronyms. Orange is the New Black. It's a TV show on Netflix. It's an enjoyable TV show. People try to abbreviate it, capital OITNB. No, that's too many letters. There are too many people out there who aren't with your hip lingo that aren't going to know what that stands for. People might say, hey man, you can, not use the uppercase, use lowercase for the I and the T. That doesn't help that much. ONB? What's ONB? Obstacle nuclear butt face? I don't know what that is. Do you? Now, one next step you could say is, hey, Orange is the New Black is a pretty long thing to type out. Which is true. So I would actually say Orange is the New Black is actually a pretty poor title choice. Whoever came up with the show probably should have thought an easier title to say. I'm sorry. That's just how I feel. Next we have Bay. Bay is a terrible offender of making communication easier. Why? Because nobody knows what the fuck Bay is. Right? Even myself, before I got curious enough to look it up several months ago, I didn't know that BAE stood for before anyone else. BAE. Even when I was in the creating process for the video, my roommate, he claimed he didn't know what it meant. I don't blame him. It looks like it means babe. You know, like you're using abbreviation for babe. Are you trying to, which is incredibly detrimental to our communication. Combining acronyms with abbreviations? No, that's not okay. Especially the way BAE is used, right? Other acronyms, it makes sense if you string them out when you use them. The SEC is on my ass. The Securities and Exchange Commission is on my ass. That makes sense. Meanwhile, BAE and I are going out for ice cream later. Before anyone else and I are going out for ice cream later. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Not just the fact that it doesn't make sense, but also it sounds like before anyone else is an object. It's kind of demeaning, you know? It's not cool. Dog, that's not cool. All right. In recap, what's the purpose of abbreviations and acronyms? To make our lives easier for everyone. Don't be selfish, all right? The point of you talking or writing things down isn't for your own amusement. It's not to hear yourself talk. You know, you're not that funny. Your voice isn't that great. Trust me, my voice sucks. That's not why I'm talking. I'm trying to communicate things to you guys, right? Don't be selfish. And finally, guacamole is a beautiful word. Don't tarnish it. Don't tarnish this shit. Guys, you're better than that. We can all be better than that. Okay? Okay? Also, one more thing. I'm changing SMB from Super Mario Bros. To Super Meat Boy because I play that game a lot more. Bye.